Welcome to Journey into Misery, where I explain complicated comics, characters and concepts to the patient and perpetually perplexed Helena Hart. My name is Kieran Shiak, and today we are doing...
Inhumans.
The Inhumans. So, Helena, what do you know about the Inhumans?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
You made very sure to keep it all very secret.
Yeah, to give a bit of a behind-the-scenes look into how we put the show together, we sit on the couch, Helena does her uni work, I hide the laptop behind her laptop so she can't see what I'm looking at.
It was described as battleships.
By you.
By me. I think it's an apt description.
Kind of, yeah. So, nothing about the Inhumans at all?
I literally don't know anything.
Do you know how they got their powers?
I don't know anything.
Where they
I
live?
don't know what it is.
Can you name an Inhuman?
No.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
So we'll start at the very beginning. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago.
Right.
Millennia ago, some may say. You heard of the Kree?
Yes. I've heard of the Kree.
You heard of the Skrulls?
No. Yes! Scroll! Yes! It's your accent.
They are fierce enemies who have been locked in war for ever.
Okay. Since time began.
Pretty much. Since human time began, at least.
Right, yeah. Since the concept of time
Yeah.
was really a thing.
The Kree came to Earth and abducted and tampered a bunch of humans.
Tampered?
Yeah.
Like...
Experimented on.
Oh, right, yeah. That's where I was going with it.
To create like a super mutant army to take on the Skrulls.
That's pretty cool.
But then a genetic prophecy revealed that one day one of these experiments would rise up and kill the Kree Supreme Intelligence.
Yeah, everything always goes wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they abandoned all these quite quickly.
They just gave up.
Yeah.
They were just like, well, we've made this army, but we don't need them anymore.
Well, rather than train them in how to kill things.
They just left them.
Yeah.
And now they're, like, just chilling?
Well, this is still thousands of years ago.
Yeah, like, then they were just chilling.
Yeah.
Or...
Well, they went into seclusion in the city of Atalan.
Okay.
And if you want to do a little drinking game, as we do this, there's two words that you can drink.
Drink along.
Every time I say, over the course of this episode. Drink every time I say Atalan.
Okay.
That's the first one. So they went to Atalan.
Right.
And they were highly advanced for their time.
Right.
They had all sorts of stuff while we were still like banging rocks together.
Yeah, because they were, like...
Yeah, genetically advanced.
Advanced.
A great geneticist named Randak.
Geneticist.
Geneticist.
Right.
Is that not a word?
It is a word, but it's probably not in the way I'm thinking.
Okay. He began experimenting with something called the Terrigen mists, which come from the Terrigen crystals. Actually, second word for the drinking game.
Terrigen crystal.
Well, Terrigen.
Okay.
Atalan and Terrigen, those are your two
Christ.
for the drinking game.
Right, okay.
So using the Terrigen crystals, which produce the Terrigen mists, Inhumans undergo a process called Terrigenesis,
I'm liking this. Yeah, that is like geneticist in a way I was thinking.
where they step into the mists and they come out changed somehow.
It's not really how genetics work, but okay.
This is the 60s, right?
Yeah?
So they come out with powers of some sort. So the Inhumans are a highly advanced race living in seclusion from the rest of the humans. They all have wildly different powers. Like, each person is like a race of one.
Oh, right, so each of them's like massively different to the next.
Yeah, like it's kind of like mutants.
Yeah.
Like the X-Men. And they also, this is kind of dodgy, and it makes me really uncomfortable. They have slaves.
Right.
Like,
the Inhumans have slaves.
yeah, like
Not servants.
No, they have like an underclass called the Alpha Primitives,
Okay.
who are clones who are bred to serve like manual labour.
Oh, wow.
They keep the city running. They do all the like, rubbish jobs.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, and I'm interested to see if this plays into the Inhumans movie at all. Because can you really cheer for the guys that have slaves?
Yeah, the good guys are also the guys that have slaves.
So we're going to go through the Inhuman royal family.
There's a royal family.
Because when you say the Inhumans, you're pretty much talking about the royal family. They are a race of people, but the ones that the comics focus on are the royal family.
Oh, like the best ones?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So they are led by their king, who is called Black Bolt.
Is he known as a king?
Yes, he is the king of the Inhumans. He is Black Bolt.
He's really cool.
His name is Blackagar Boltagon.
writes this shit, honestly?
Stan Lee.
Oh, of course. Oh, Stan.
So, what do you think his power is, looking at him?
Some kind of force field?
No. He has a destructive voice.
Alright, yeah.
So even like a whisper would destroy like a skyscraper.
Why was it called Black Bolt?
Because his name's Blackguard Boltigan.
That's not relevant.
His name's Black Bolt.
Damn Stanley and his weird names.
So his merest whisper could have devastating effects, so he never speaks.
Oh, so he's like mute.
Yeah, he's effectively mute. He can speak, but it's disastrous.
Not good.
Yeah. Fun story about Black Bolt and my encounter with Black Bolt. I was first exposed to him in the video game Marvel Ultimate Alliance,
Okay.
where in the game they describe him as saying, if he spoke, cities and nations would crumble, so he keeps silent. I took that as a metaphor.
Okay.
So like he had like this great secret
Oh god.
that if you revealed, like,
It would change the world.
yeah. So when I found out, no, he just has a really powerful voice, I was like, oh no, that makes more sense. He has a wife,
The Queen.
the Queen, Medusa.
Okay, she doesn't have snakes for hair.
She doesn't.
I'm
What?
into it.
She has prehensile hair.
Yeah, that's cool.
She's also Black Bolt's cousin.
Right.
I think distant cousins.
That's
but-
an issue.
yeah.
There's
I
some
don't
questions
know.
there.
I think that might be something that's just like been swept under the rug
Yeah,
as
like,
years have gone
we'll
on.
forget about it. But to be fair, like, not to offend any, like, royalists, but...
In keeping with tradition, Medusa and Black Bolt have probably the strongest marriage in comics
Aww.
because she can read his body language and know exactly what decision he wants to make,
Oh, that's nice.
exactly what he's saying. So they're a very good couple. And recently, Marvel have been pushing Medusa as Black Bolt's equal.
Yeah, damn right.
Next up, we have Crystal.
I thought she wasn't wearing clothes.
This is very close.
She just looks like she's not. What does she do?
She has the control of all four classic elements.
Okay.
So fire, water, air and earth.
Yes.
She is Medusa's sister.
Right.
We also have Gorgon.
He's cool.
He has those little goat feet
I'm into the goat feet. The goat feet are cool.
and he can like trigger earthquakes with his feet.
Because goats are really good at stamping.
Yeah. He is Black Bolt's cousin.
Okay, so everyone's related.
Yeah. It's the royal family. He's also like the chief of security for Atalan.
Alright.
We also have Triton.
Ah, yes. I love that. That's amazing. He's got little swim shorts on.
What do you think his powers are?
Water.
Yeah, he's amphibious.
Clearly.
Well, technically no, because amphibious means you can survive on land as well.
Yeah.
He's not amphibious.
Oh, right. So he stays in the water the whole time.
No, he's got like a little apparatus that keeps him hydrated and
Breathing.
yeah.
I assume he's got like gills or something.
hmm
Right.
And he is cousin to both Black Bolt and Gorgon.
Yeah.
He has a brother whose name is Karnak.
Okay. Who is Karnak?
That's Karnak.
He's not that birdie guy.
That's Black Bolt.
He looks like a bird.
Because he's got the little fins under his arm.
That's really cool. Okay.
Karnak has one of my favourite powers in comics. He can see weaknesses.
That's a good power.
It can be a weakness in your body to take you down. It can be a weakness in a wall to crumble it.
Yeah.
It can be a weakness in a plan.
Also like a personality trait sort of weakness.
Yeah, or if you said, I was thinking about doing this, you could go, no, that's not going to work because of this.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah, he's got one of my favourite powers in comics. He's just got a massive head. Like, that's not a helmet. Like, that is a helmet, but that's also his head.
That's his entire head.
And he's got like tattoos all over the top of his bald head.
Oh, that's amazing.
We also have Black Bolt's brother,
Okay.
Maximus.
He's creepy.
Maximus the Mad.
Of course.
He has psychic powers, mind control powers, and is a massive sociopath.
He looks the type, I'm not gonna lie.
He's the closest thing the Inhumans have to like a recurring enemy,
Okay.
like a Doctor Doom or a Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
But he works with them at times as well.
Oh, so he's not all bad. He's just
No,
just
he's
a problem
usually got-
child.
He's usually got his own motives for doing so,
Okay.
and he's after the throne.
He's just troubled.
He's Black Bolt's younger brother, but he sees himself as the rightful heir.
Of course.
There's one more member of the Inhuman royal family, and do you remember all today there was one character I was keeping from you,
Yeah.
This is Lockjaw.
Lockjaw. Oh my god! Is that a dog with a mustache? Oh my god! That's amazing! What's on his head?
This is like a tuning fork, like Black Bolt has.
Oh my god! So they're like in tune with each other.
Kind of, yeah. He can teleport.
Oh my god!
He's a teleporting dog.
That's amazing! Yes!
He also has his own team of Avengers,
No!
known as the Pet Avengers.
No! The Pet Avengers?
I've been keeping this one from you for a while. You ready to see the Pet Avengers?
I am so ready to see the Pet Avengers.
You have Lockjaw,
Yes.
Redwing,
Oh my god, a bird!
who is the Falcon's Falcon.
Yes!
Because this is something that the movie Falcon doesn't have. He is in tune with birds.
Yeah, because he's the Falcon.
Yeah. So he uses birds as spies and stuff.
Yeah, damn right.
That is
A magical cat.
Niels the cat.
Niels!
Niels.
Niels!
That is Speedball's cat,
Okay.
who has the same powers as Speedball, so she just bounces off everything.
That's amazing. Just like a cat.
Kind of.
Cats are bouncy.
Yeah. That's Lockheed,
It's a dragon.
who's a dragon. That's Kitty Pryde's dragon.
That's amazing.
Actually, he's an alien.
Of course, because he's a dragon.
And that is Throg.
That's amazing.
This is a frog with the powers of Thor. But we're not talking about the Pet Avengers today, so we do need to move on
Oh, the Pet Avengers.
to the Inhumans.
I never knew I needed anything as much.
Are you okay? Do you need a minute?
Oh, I love the Pet Avengers. I didn't know they existed. Okay, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
So the first Inhuman to show up in comics was Medusa.
Yeah.
She showed up as a member of the Frightful Four.
Okay. Alright, yeah.
So that's Medusa, the Wizard, that's the Sandman, and that's Paste Pot Pete.
Paste Pot Pete.
He quickly changes his name to the Trapster.
Yeah. Good call, Pete.
Right.
Pete.
So she was in a plane crash. She was wandering through the European woods with amnesia. She was taken in by the Wizard, who was looking for a member of the Frightful Four, a female member of the Frightful Four, to take on Sue Storm. And when she was evil, Medusa beat Sue like every time.
Yeah.
But eventually, she was found by Gorgon,
Yeah.
who took her back to Atalan and deprogrammed her.
Deprogrammed.
Because she was like brainwashed to be evil.
Alright, yeah.
And Johnny Storm, the Human Torch,
Yep.
falls in love with Crystal.
Oh.
And they date for a bit. They become allies. They work together a lot. The Inhumans and the Fantastic Four. They largely began as Fantastic Four characters
Yeah.
before they span out as their own characters. Eventually, Crystal leaves Johnny for Quicksilver.
For Quicksilver. Yes.
You know, Evan Peters from Days of Future Past,
I do.
and also Aaron Taylor Johnson from Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yes.
And she later marries Quicksilver, and they have a daughter together named Luna.
Oh. Does she have moon powers?
She doesn't have moon powers.
Oh, that's disappointing.
So Medusa becomes pregnant, and
If she gets murdered, I swear to God.
And the Genetic Council of Atalan say, no way. Black Bolt is the most destructive Inhuman we've ever seen. His brother is the most evil Inhuman we've ever seen. We cannot allow this bloodline to continue.
Yeah.
So Medusa flees to Earth with Crystal and some other Inhumans and gives birth to Ahura.
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 Ahura. But then when they get back to the Genetic Council, it's like, fine, you had the kid, we'll take it from here.
Okay. They'll just have to deal with it rather than murdering anyone.
Crystal and Quicksilver eventually split up
Oh.
because Pietro is just an asshole.
Fair enough.
And Crystal cheats on him with a real estate agent because I assume she was looking for the most boring person to cheat with if you're married to a superhero.
Yeah, like, really?
So the Inhumans are around since the 60s. One of the things that's most impressive that I didn't realise until I was doing my research is the Inhumans are introduced right before Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Oh, okay.
The 3 issues before the Silver Surfer shows up is the big Inhumans stuff. So it can't be stated enough that the original Stan Lee, Jack Kirby Fantastic Four run is just one of the greatest runs of all time in terms of just banging out concept after concept after concept.
Cool.
So they're around since the mid-60s. like through the 70s, 80s, 90s. But the biggest kind of breakout shot was in 1999 in a Marvel Knights maxi series called Inhumans.
Yeah.
Marvel Knights was a initiative, kind of publishing label that was created because in the mid to late 90s, Marvel were fucked.
Right.
They were going out of business.
Okay, why?
Just the speculator boom of the early 90s, everyone buying up a load of comics, then those comics turned out to be worthless.
Ah, right, yeah.
So if it wasn't for like Blade and the X-Men, the films,
They'd be fucked, they'd be gone.
there'd be no Marvel right now.
Jesus Christ.
So what Marvel did with some of their smaller characters was they set up like a separate imprint called Marvel Knights, gave it to two guys called Jimmy Palmiotti and Joe Quesada to run,
Yeah.
and said, you guys go run this, you got creative free reign, do what you want. So you got like Daredevil was in that, Black Panther was in that, The Punisher was in that, loads of really groundbreaking
Like,
comics.
Good characters.
Yeah, and Marvel Knights helped save Marvel as well. Joe Quesada went from being the like editor-in-chief of Marvel Knights to being the editor-in-chief of Marvel.
Oh, top lad.
And Inhumans was one of these maxi series. So at this point, the Inhumans have relocated to the remains of ancient Atlantis,
Oh, yeah, cool.
which has been risen from the waters.
Obviously.
It's off the coast of Portugal, and there's various armies and corporations that kind of stripping the ruins of Atlantis all around Atalan.
Okay.
Maximus is currently in prison,
Right.
and there's a new group of teens going in for Terrigenesis.
Oh.
What is it? Oh,
Going for Terrigenesis.
Yeah.
It's not good.
why is it no good? It's going to give them powers.
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't end.
Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does.
Okay, right.
This time it doesn't, because
Of course it didn't. It always goes wrong.
one of the teens named DeWaz, he comes out of Terrigenesis as an alpha primitive.
Christ.
So the Inhumans quite quickly go, sweep him under the rug, just send him down with the alpha primitives and say he volunteered to go, rather than be a shame on his family.
That's really sad.
While he's underground, his true powers begin to manifest.
Right, and what are they?
He can teleport through reflective surfaces.
That's cool.
He's like locked in an alpha primitive shell.
Yeah,
He falls under the spell of Maximus, who has a mirror in his prison cell.
so you can get him out.
Yeah, he doesn't get him out straight away. He instead uses Waz's power to recruit an old KGB friend from when Maximus was free.
Of course he did.
And along with the KGB friend and a contact in the CIA, they smuggle in a Trojan, like a literal Trojan horse,
Jesus Christ.
with a little shield dampener thing that
Amazing.
takes down the shield around Atalan. The armies of Russia are advancing on Atalan, and the Inhumans go out to see what's up, and an Inhuman gets killed by a human. So all this is all going on. Maximus has escaped into the substructure, which is where all the Alpha Primitives are,
Yeah.
and he takes over as like the king of the Alpha Primitives.
Oh dear.
From the substructure, he cuts off access to and from Atalan,
This isn't going to go well, is it?
and he turns off all the power. So there's no power in Atalan, no one can get any information, no one's getting any food, and he kidnaps Medusa through the mirror,
Oh no.
and he reveals that he messed up Waz's powers
Of course.
and kind of tampered with his
Of
Terrigenesis.
course.
He gets on the little vid screens that they have, and he tells the Inhumans that he'll tell his friends in the Russian army to stop attacking if he gets the throne back, and he reveals that Atlantis, where they are, is one wrong hit or one shell away from sinking back into the water.
Ooh.
Waz, who is kind of not dumb, but he's stuck in this shell and he can't articulate well.
Yeah, he's primitive.
Yeah, and he's dying in the alpha primitive shell. He realises that Maximus's eyes are reflective, so he teleports into Maximus's brain,
Clever.
and he says, "If you don't free my body, I'll kill us both."
Jesus.
So Waz gets free and he runs to Black Bolt and Gorgon and tells them what's been going on, because Black Bolt has been doing like jack shit about this,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "What's going on, Black Bolt? You're our king. We're getting slaughtered."
And he's just like...
Well, not literally slaughtered. Only one Inhuman died, but everyone's really scared. Black Bolt's doing nothing. Black Bolt and Gorgon tell Waz, "Oh yeah, we know. We've got this all in hand."
Do they though? Do they?
Maximus cuts off all of Medusa's hair.
Her power.
But what she does is she still has power over the hair.
Right, so she can like grow it back.
No, she has power over the hair
Just cut off.
that's cut off.
Ah.
So she uses that to take out all the power in Atalan.
Damn right.
So at this point, the humans think that they've won.
But they haven't.
No. Medusa's rescued, and she reveals to the rest of the royal family that everything that's happened has been according to plan.
Okay.
Gorgon then strikes Atlantis in the perfect pressure point and causes a massive earthquake.
Oh.
Black Ball and Karnak have routed the force field dome through Lockjaw,
Yeah.
so they turn it back on, and the next time Lockjaw teleports, the whole city will teleport with him.
Yeah, because he's like connected to it.
Yeah. So as Atlantis crumbles into the ocean, Atalan vanishes, and to anyone watching, it looks like Atalan just sank into the sea.
Yeah.
So it turns out everything that happened over the course of 12 issues was a plan to just get the humans to stop looking,
Yeah, just stop watching us.
because they think that the Inhumans are all dead.
Okay, yeah, because they went in the sea.
Yeah.
In inverted commas.
So it shows that Black Bolt isn't just supremely powerful, he is a master strategist.
Yeah, he seems to know what's up.
After this, there's a follow-up story that isn't very good, where the Kree return to make the Inhumans the soldiers they were destined to be. Black Bolt challenges Ronan to like one-on-one combat. It's not very
Meh.
good. And at some point, not in this miniseries, but at some point afterwards, I couldn't pinpoint the exact issue where it happens. The Inhumans relocate Atalan to the blue area of the moon.
That blue area.
That blue area. A few years later, it's revealed that Black Bolt is a member of the Illuminati,
Right.
who we covered last week.
We did. The Illuminati. With Iron Man.
After the end of the Kree-Skrull War, which is an Avengers storyline that put an end to that conflict, the Illuminati head to Skrullos,
Skrullos.
which is the capital,
Christ.
like the throne world of the Skrulls.
Of course.
And they tell the Skrulls, hey, leave Earth alone. But they get captured by the Skrulls and tortured and experimented on, but eventually they escape.
Good.
They then have to deal with a being known as the Beyonder.
Okay.
Can you tell he was created in the 80s?
He just looks like a reverse Miz. Ah, bless him.
Who, I could spend... The Beyonder is a whole mess of a thing. There's been multiple stories just trying to explain what the Beyonder is. Basically, there's a story in the 80s called Secret Wars,
Yeah.
which isn't the Secret Wars that all the news has come out about today.
No.
Different story, but
Different one.
there's a connection between the two somewhere. Where Secret Wars was created because Marvel had a deal with Mattel or Hasbro or someone,
Yeah.
and they did like a tie-in story with them.
Right.
And a fun story behind that is it's called Secret Wars. The toy company's testing said that like boys' favourite two words are secret and war.
Jesus.
So there's this big crossover. It's the first Marvel crossover. It's around the same time as Crisis,
Yeah.
where the Beyonder like plucks a load of heroes and plucks a load of villains and puts them on Battle World to fight. It is a comic book version of getting all your toys and just like bashing them together.
It's like a terrible version of Toy Story.
Yeah. So the Beyonder, he was just like a MacGuffin, a reason to get these characters into the situation.
Yeah.
There's been multiple attempts to explain who he is. Most recently, he is the only mutant Inhuman.
Oh, okay.
So he's an Inhuman, but he's also a mutant like the X-Men.
Yeah.
And Black Ball, as his king, commands him into exile for the betterment of the universe.
Yeah, because he's double trouble.
Okay, so House of M. Have I covered House of M with you at all?
I don't know what that is.
House of M is a story that ends up with the Scarlet Witch casting a spell where she says, no more mutants.
Oh, okay.
And every mutant on Earth loses their powers, except for 198 of them.
It's quite a specific number.
Yeah.
Why 198?
It's just the number they chose.
Why not like just 3 that I like?
Well, you have to have like all the X-Men. Conveniently, all the mutants that you saw every week in X-Men comics kept their powers.
Look at that.
Some of them lost their powers, like, Jubilee from the
Yeah.
cartoon. She lost her powers.
Oh.
But one of the mutants that was depowered was Quicksilver,
Oh,
who is
no.
the Scarlet Witch's brother.
Yeah. Is it the brother?
Mhm.
Okay.
So he's frantically trying to get his powers back, and he turns to his estranged wife, Crystal, to ask if he can use the Terrigen Mists.
Okay.
She's like, nope, they're sacred to us, they'll kill
Not
you.
touching them.
But he breaks into where they are and uses them anyway.
Of course he does.
But Terrigen Mists on depowered mutants gives them back their powers amped up,
Yeah.
so Quicksilver gains the ability to travel through time.
Okay.
Similar to Zoom,
God, Zoom.
The second Zoom, Hunter Solomon Zoom.
Yes.
He escapes Attilan with the Mists and Luna, his daughter,
Yeah.
and he exposes her to Terrigenesis.
Oh no.
And she develops the power of visual empathy,
That's quite cool.
so she can look at you and see how you're feeling.
Oh.
Which is kind of like the way it's drawn is really cool. It's really creepy.
It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, it's like she'll look at someone and there's just like a black cloud where the face should be.
Jesus.
So Quicksilver uses the Terrigen crystals to repower mutants who are depowered, but it goes wrong and their powers get heightened with fatal results.
Of course it goes wrong. Why am I not even surprised?
Like, there's a woman named Callisto who has kind of super senses,
Yeah.
but she gets powered up so much that every drop of rain is like a dagger. And there's a mutant called Unis the Untouchable,
Okay.
and he's untouchable.
Literally.
But the Terrigen stops everything getting to him, including oxygen.
Oh. Does he die?
Yes, he dies.
That's not good.
So the crystals wind up in the possession of the US government,
Yeah.
who are like,
Naturally.
fuck off Quicksilver. And then humans like, those are ours, those are sacred, give them back. The US government say, no,
No, you weren't using them responsibly. Is there a war?
there is a war. The Inhumans declare war on Earth.
Of course.
Black Bolt sends a team of Inhumans to New York to demand the return of the Mists. But a young Inhuman named Jolin, who has kind of plant powers,
Plant powers.
Yeah.
That's cool.
he gets cocky and he kills a bunch of the humans. So as the Inhumans flee, they're stopped by the Fantastic Four, and as a gesture, Gorgon surrenders himself.
Aww.
He's taken prisoner by the United States government and exposed to the Mists again, making him a more monstrous version of himself.
Yeah, he's already like
Mhm.
hella strong.
But now he's more devolved, like more goatee.
Oh, so he's more angry.
Yeah. So Black Bolt leads a contingent of the Inhumans to rescue Gorgon, and they attack the Pentagon to reclaim the crystals. S.H.I.E.L.D. responds to Black Bolt's attack by sending Marines who are exposed to the Mists to attack the moon. But
Why would Marines go to the moon?
to attack Attilan?
You'd send astronauts, surely.
Well, astronauts can't fight.
You could train them.
Well, these are Marines that have been amped up with Terrigen,
Okay.
but they have a limited lifespan because their bodies can't handle, their human bodies can't handle the Terrigen for more than a few days.
Oh.
So the Marines are Attilan and they're repelled, but it turns out that that massive battle was all a ruse to get one Marine by, so that he can die and explode in Attilan.
Explode?
Yeah.
What?
Because cellular instability.
Yeah, like not that much, but I want to literally explode a man.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And this is enough to give Maximus the ability to use his mind control to infect the Inhumans, and he takes over as king with Medusa as his queen. Luna goes to Black Bolt asking him what she should do, and Black Bolt opens his mouth to answer,
Oh.
and you turn the page and it's completely black.
Oh.
And then this is where I get really annoyed, because the Quicksilver stuff was a story called Son of M, which I'm
Alright.
holding up for you now.
Yep.
The War stuff was a comic called Silent War,
Yeah.
which is one of the first comics I bought like month to month.
Mhm.
There was supposed to be a third part of that, and it never came out
Oh. Why?
because they had other plans for the Inhumans.
So they just cancelled the third part.
Yeah,
Right. As you do.
yeah. So I don't know the full connect between this story and what happens next.
Because it never happened.
No, not what's supposed to happen next. What actually happens next.
Okay.
I don't know how they got from point A to they got from point A to point C, and I'm not sure what point B was.
Oh, right, okay.
But at some point, Maximus is the king, but legitimately, like he's not got like no one's under his spell.
Yeah.
So, aside from the Inhumans, the Avengers go to Japan to rescue one of their own who had been captured by the Hand, who are ninjas,
Yeah.
led by Elektra.
Oh, cool.
You heard of Elektra?
I have.
Elektra ends up dying in the fight,
Oh.
and when she dies, she reverts to Skrull form.
Okay.
So the Avengers are like, oh shit, if she's a Skrull,
Who else is a squirrel?
and they start to consider the possibility that they've been secretly invaded.
Yeah.
Iron Man reunites the Illuminati to decide what to do,
That's a beautiful sentence.
and as they're talking, Black Bolt speaks normally, because Black Bolt is a Skrull.
Oh, No! Well, he was a Skrull all along!
Well, that was one of the fun things in Secret Invasion. It was, okay, so when did they get taken? How long have they been a Skrull?
Yeah, because he's been silent the whole time, no one would have known.
Yeah.
Plot twist.
So Tony Stark presents Medusa with the Skrull Black Bolt, and she takes it, presents it to King Maximus, who puts Aslan into a state of emergency.
Okay.
Inhumans begin distrusting each other,
Naturally.
because anyone could be a Skrull. As night falls, the Skrulls take the city, and we see that they still have Black Bolt, he's still alive, and they're going to use his voice to power the ultimate Skrull weapon.
What is that?
Just like a big voice cannon.
Okay. It's like a giant megaphone.
Yeah,
I'm just going to make him talk.
but he won't speak for them,
Yeah.
so they're trying to find ways to make him speak. They also took Ahura,
His kid.
yeah, to try and try and make him angry enough
To say anything.
to say anything. The Skrulls and Attilan severely underestimate the Inhumans, and they're defeated. The royal family steal a Skrull ship and head to rescue Black Bolt. They ally themselves with Ronan and the Kree, because the enemy of my enemy
Yeah.
is my friend.
Yeah.
But it's on the condition that Crystal marries Ronan, uniting the two races.
That's just dumb.
It's like
Stop using like marriage agreements.
it's like a Game of Thrones style thing.
Yeah.
So the Skrulls who have Black Bolt reveal what happened during his capture. The Black Bolt was defeated by the Hulk last week.
He was.
So that Black Bolt wasn't actually Black Bolt, that was a Skrull.
Yep.
And the Skrull Bolt has been boning Medusa,
This whole time.
which is enough to rile Black Bolt up.
Like, you were touching my wife.
Yeah. So that's what stirs his emotions enough to get him to speak.
Oh, the power of love.
The power of jealousy.
Yeah.
At the same time, the royal family splits up to get 3 parts of basically a MacGuffin to break into the Skrull systems.
Yeah.
Ahura uses his psychic powers to get Black Bolt released. At the same time, the royal family charge on the Skrull ship. There's this really cool page. It's not Secret Invasion Humans is okay, but there's this really cool page where the scientist who's been experimented on him tries to kick him in the face.
Yeah.
Black Bolt grabs his leg, whispers in his ear, and the next panel is just Black Bolt just holding the leg.
Oh, that's amazing.
Everyone's reunited. Black Bolt takes back over as the king. Maximus is his kind of advisor, and they head off into the stars. They convert Attilan into a spaceship
Cool.
and take off into the stars to hunt Skrulls.
That's cool.
While they're hunting Skrulls, they cross over into Shi'ar space.
Right.
Do you remember the Shi'ar at all? We spoke about them a bit in the Guardians of the Galaxy episode. They were in the X-Men cartoon.
Were they the ones you said were just like generic alien?
No, they're kind of like bird people.
I don't remember that, but that sounds awesome.
No, they're not super bird. They can't fly or anything, but they've got like bird ancestry.
Sort of avian.
Yeah. They cross over into Shi'ar space, and a Shi'ar ship's like, turn away, this is our space, we'll deal with them. Black Bolt goes, no. Kills the Skrull ship and the Shi'ar ship.
Jesus.
After that, they head to Kree space, where the Kree are still recovering from the Ultron attacks and the Phalanx attacks.
That whole situation
Yeah.
that happened.
So they reveal that they don't intend to destroy the Kree, but rule them.
Oh.
So Ronan, who never really wanted to lead, hands over power to Black Bolt. So the Inhumans are now in charge of the Kree.
Okay.
So the next story is like a War of Kings,
Mhm.
which we covered a bit in the Guardians of the Galaxy episode,
Right.
but we only covered what happened to the Guardians in it, really.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when Black Bolt destroyed the Shi'ar ship, that brought him into conflict with the Shi'ar, led by Cyclops' mad brother Vulcan. Do you remember that picture?
Yes, I think so.
He is in charge of the Shi'ar. He's the Shi'ar Magister,
Yeah.
which is the king. As Crystal's getting married to Ronan, the Shi'ar Imperial Guard attack the wedding, led by Gladiator,
Yes.
who started out as a Superman analogue.
Yeah, I can see it.
He's the last of his species. He's super powerful. He has an amazing mohawk.
He does.
He's a really good character. He's not one of my. I want to say one of my favourites. I won't go that far. But whenever Gladiator shows up in a comic, I'm like, yeah.
He cool.
Gladiator beats the shit out of Ronan,
Right. Naturally.
and the Imperial Guard kidnap Lilandra, who is the deposed Empress.
Whoa, she's cool.
That's all hair under that as well.
That's amazing. Literal helmet hair.
After this, the Kree begin to rise up in the response to the new war the Inhumans have brought them, after they'd just suffered through Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest. but Crystal goes among the people, like distributing water and shelter, and she
Aw.
becomes like the Inhuman Lady Diana,
That's
Princess
nice.
Diana. Maximus modifies Kree Sentry with echo weapons based on Blackbolt's voice, and they strike back at the Shi'ar.
Oh, okay.
The Guardians of the Galaxy, along with the Starjammers, attempt to rescue.
Starjammers!
The Starjammers are space pirates,
That's amazing!
led by Cyclops' dad.
Starjammers!
I've not put this in the image gallery, but I'm going to get a picture of Cyclops' dad, who's a guy named Corsair.
He sounds French.
This is Corsair,
God.
the space pirate.
Ah, I love him. He's got like a little weedy mustache, a little head scarf.
He's pretty great.
He's amazing. Oh, he's so cool.
Yeah, the Starjammers, the Guardians, attempt to rescue the Landra, and Gladiator has to decide, where does his loyalty lie? Does it lie to the Shi'ar Imperium or to the true Empress?
Oh,
And
okay.
he betrays the Imperium to side with the Landra,
Yep.
which is it's a huge deal. Gladiator is one of the most loyal characters in comics to a fault, to the point that he's always sided with villains if that villain was the current Magister of the Shi'ar.
Oh, right, so just what's best for business.
Pretty much. But this is the first time. This is his face turn.
Oh god. He's a good guy now.
As this is going on, and as Ronan's recovering in like a Kree hospital, Crystal grows closer to him, and they eventually fall in love.
Aww. Babs.
Landra goes to the Galactic Senate for their support in her rightful claim to the throne, but she's assassinated, which sucks.
What? Why is she assassinated?
Because she's a challenger to Vulcan's claim to the Shi'ar Imperium.
Oh, that sucks.
As Black Bolt and the Inhumans prepare for their final attack, Vulcan is now faced with a war on two fronts, because he's got to fight the Inhumans, but Lalandra is now a martyr among many Shi'ar. Vulcan decides he needs to end the Inhuman threat immediately so he can focus on internal Shi'ar matters. Black Bolt launches his T-bomb, which is going to spread Terrigenesis across the entire galaxy, making everyone inhuman.
Oh no.
But he didn't tell Medusa that he had to be inside the bomb for it to activate. With his last word, goodbye,
Oh.
he powers up the bomb as Vulcan crashes into the bomb because it's like a ship
Yeah.
to confront him. Vulcan and Black Bolt have like a knockdown, drag out brawl inside the bomb.
Jesus.
And just when Vulcan nearly has the win, Black Bolt just screams "No!" in his face, and it just leaves Vulcan like a charred husk on the floor.
Jesus Christ.
Crystal shows up with Lockjaw and uses like her earth powers to render the Terrigen inert, because she's like, "What are you doing, Black Bolt? This is a silly idea."
You're like, this is dumb.
As they're about to escape, Vulcan heals enough to attack Black Bolt, and Crystal and Lockjaw leave without Black Bolt by accident.
Yeah.
The bomb explodes and rips a hole in time and space,
Yep. Seems familiar.
which is the fault,
Yeah.
which is where the Cancerverse came from.
Yeah.
And the Shi'ar surrender unconditionally as Gladiator takes over as their new Magister.
Yeah.
Around this time, there's a story that's kind of tangential to the Inhumans without any of the Inhuman royal family in it other than flashbacks. It's about the king before Black Bolt.
Who was...
No one knows what his name is. His name has been stricken from the records.
Oh.
He's called the Unspoken,
He's pretty cool though.
and he had this big great crime for which he was exiled and his name to be never spoken again. He resurfaces and unleashes what's called Zero Gen Mists.
Which is...
It's kind of the opposite of Terrigen Mist. It turns humans into alpha primitives.
Oh. That's not good either.
The Unspoken is kind of the most powerful Inhuman of all time,
Yeah.
because as long as he has access to the Terrigen crystals, he can summon whatever power he wants.
Yeah. Oh dear.
He's eventually defeated by Hankrim's mighty Avengers though, and the Zero Gen crystals are returned to Attilan.
Finally.
After this, a ship docks on the blue area of the moon, where the Inhumans no longer live,
Uh-huh.
and the Fantastic Four go up to investigate it. They find 4 other races of Inhumans.
4 other races.
Yeah. So the Kree didn't just experiment on humans.
There were 4 other...
Aliens like Chimelians, Diawraiths, and 2 others I can't remember. They say where the Supreme Intelligence gifted the Inhumans with Terrigen, he gifted these guys with this thing and these guys with this thing,
Alright.
which doesn't jibe with me because it's supposed to be Randak who discovers Terrigenesis after the Kree leave. So I think that's just kind of a plot hole or continuity mistake.
Yeah.
But There's 4 other races of Inhumans.
Maybe it's an alternate universe.
No, it's within the Marvel Universe.
Okay.
They've made their way to the moon in order to await the return of Black Bolt, because they have a prophecy that Black Bolt will lead the Universal Inhumans
Right.
to their rightful home of New Hala. Hala is the Kree planet.
Uh-huh.
New Hala is
The
Earth.
new one is Earth.
Is Earth.
Right. So they've taken Earth.
No, they're waiting for Black Bolt.
Okay.
And among these Universal Inhumans, each race has a bride waiting for Black Bolt.
Oh god.
So Attilan returns to Earth, led by Black Bolt, who was... It looked like he died in the fall, but Lockjaw rescued him
Right.
from the fall. On the way back to Earth, they pick up the Universal Inhumans, and Black Bolt's like, sweet, 4 new wives.
4.
Yeah.
Doesn't need 4 wives.
5 wives.
Doesn't need any. He's an independent man.
Ronan the Accuser resurrects the Kree Supreme Intelligence.
That's amazing. That is literally just a giant head with like, I don't even know, coming out of it.
The Supreme Intelligence is kind of the de facto leader of the Kree.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Intelligence orders the Kree Armada attack Earth to eradicate the Inhumans, because Black Bolt is prophesied to one day destroy him.
Right.
The Kree are beaten back by the Fantastic Four and the Avengers and Inhumans,
Everyone.
and Black Bolt orders Attilan to follow the Kree in pursuit. A compromise is eventually reached between them. The Supreme Intelligence says, okay, we're cool, but I want Ronan back, and this marriage thing, I'm not cool with it.
Yeah, like, we're not good with that.
So Ronan and Crystal's marriage is annulled.
Good.
After this, Black Bolt returns to Earth with the Inhumans, because Mr. Fantastic's son from the future tells him he needs to be on Earth because everything dies.
Everything dies.
Mhm.
Okay.
So after this, Attilan takes residence in the sky in New York.
Yeah.
Medusa then joins the Future Foundation,
Mhm.
which is a spin-off of the Fantastic Four. It's kind of like an expanded Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And she joins kind of like a replacement Fantastic Four alongside Ant-Man, She-Hulk and Ms. Thing.
That's cool.
But we'll cover that more in the Ant-Man episode,
Also.
because it's more of his story than hers.
Yes.
Around the same time, the Black Panther reforms the Illuminati,
Okay.
with Black Bolt, Namor, Iron Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange and Beast
Who's Beast?
from the X-Men,
Oh, right.
the blue guy.
The blue guy, yeah.
Because at this point Charles Xavier is dead.
Uh-huh.
Because Black Panther has discovered that worlds are crashing into each other.
Mhm.
Worlds are kind of incurring on each other's universes and crashing into each other. The only way to stop this is if one of the Earths gets destroyed before they touch.
Yeah. You can't, like, push him off collision course.
So Captain America isn't cool with this.
Of course not, because he's a good guy.
So they mind wipe him.
Oh.
This whole story is a really cool story about how far good men are willing to go, and at what point the ends stop justifying the means.
Right. Okay.
And it's kind of still ongoing, what's happening with that story, and that's leading into that new Secret Wars that we'll be reading out tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
But in between that, there's an event called Infinity,
Right.
where Thanos has been going all over the galaxy, killing all of his bastard children,
Oh, Christ. Why? That's...
because he's trying to prove to Death that he loves her.
Oh, yeah. So he just kills everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah. And the last one is an Inhuman named Thane.
Okay.
When Randak discovered Terrigenesis, a tribe of Inhumans split from Attilan because they didn't want to undergo the process.
Mhm.
So there's this other hidden city called Oralan.
Oralan.
Oralan?
Oralan.
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 Which is full of Inhumans who never underwent Terrigenesis.
Okay. So, like, people.
Yeah, pretty much. And Thanos' son is there.
So he's going there to kill
But
him.
Thanos doesn't realise he's there. Thanos just knows he has an Inhuman son.
Okay.
So he goes to fight Black Bolt. They have this massive fight in Attilan. All the Inhumans evacuate,
Yeah.
and Attilan crashes into the Hudson River, which causes the Terrigen mists to kind of leak out
Oh, no.
onto Earth,
Right into America.
right into the planet. So when the Orlonians split from Attilan, they intermingled with humanity, and there's now potentially millions of descendants of Inhumans on the
Yeah,
Earth.
because they weren't controlled.
Yeah,
And
so
now they're there.
all of these people start mutating.
Oh, God.
They're just like in the street.
No.
So it's worldwide inhumanity.
Oh, God. Chaos.
Yeah. Karnak begins piecing together the pieces like this puzzle to try and see where it's going to take the Inhumans to see where the floor is, and he sees where it's going and kind of just loses it and kills himself.
Oh.
So Karnak's dead.
That's a turn.
After this is kind of a genetic arms race, because there's all these cocoons full of people waiting to come out as Inhumans.
Cocoons.
So AIM get involved, the Unspoken shows his head, and Medusa's trying to bring in as many of these so-called new humans
Yeah.
to Atalan. Meanwhile, an Inhuman from Oralan named Lash, he's recruiting those he deems worthy and bringing them back to Oralan, but killing those he deems unworthy.
Oh God. So he's just picking and choosing, basically.
And there's a new Inhuman called Lineage, who he has the knowledge of all of his ancestors,
Lineage. Yeah.
but he has all of their faces on his body, and they...
He has all of their faces on his body.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
And they kind of talk to him and give him advice and counsel, and...
Well, they're just like, on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like face on his chest, a face on his stomach, a face over here.
Okay, right. Fair enough.
He shows up on New Atalan, which is kind of being built in the Hudson River,
Yeah.
and reveals to Medusa that Black Bolt did this on purpose, activated these Inhumans on purpose.
Is it part of his plan?
Part of his plan, because something is coming. Oh yeah, Black Bolt died when he was fighting Thanos. I missed that bit.
Everyone always dies. But he's back. Because no one says dead. Is he not dead?
So,
Is he not alive? What's happening?
Medusa and her Royal Guard attack Oralan, they take down Lash, and they forward his recruits into New Atalan.
Yeah.
The Unspoken returns, seeking refuge in New Atalan, but it's an attempt to steal like a cache of Terrigen that he had stashed away.
Yeah. Trying to get it back.
He repowers himself with it and takes over New Atalan, but he's taken down by a group of new Inhumans who were in New York when he took over. This last cache of Terrigen is destroyed, but then Lineage shows up and goes, "Look, I've got a little bit here."
Oh no.
And then he reveals that Black Bolt is still alive
Of course.
and seemingly in the clutches of Maximus.
Oh God. It's all kicking off now.
Maximus and Black Bolt are tracked down by two Inhuman detectives, and one of them ends up being killed by Black Bolt.
Okay.
So the other detective returns to New Atalan, and along with Gorgon, they find Black Bolt and Maximus in the Himalayas, which is where Atalan was for a bit.
Just in the Himalayas.
Well, that's where Black Bolt moved Atalan
Okay.
after that story.
So it's already like a point in their time.
Yeah. Black Bolt turns on Maximus.
Okay.
It's really cool. Maximus is kind of like falling over this cliff, and he kind of like grabs onto Black Bolt's shirt. Black Bolt like whispers, and he just destroys Maximus's fingers,
That's really cool.
and Maximus falls into the pit.
Oh no.
And that's pretty much up to date. There's a big crossover called Axis, where a bunch of good guys go bad and the bad guys go good, and Medusa's involved with that for a bit. Doesn't matter.
So currently everyone's just an Inhuman in New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
/ America / the entire world.
I should mention the new Ms. Marvel. Have you come across the new Ms. Marvel at all?
No.
She's really cool because she's one of the most prominent Muslim superheroes.
Yes! I'm so happy about this.
This is Ms. Marvel. She's called Kamala Khan. She has the power to kind of alter her mass,
Okay.
and she got this as a part of the
Inhumans system.
Inhumanity stuff. It's a really cool comic. I really recommend it if anyone's on the fence about it. Also, look who shows up.
Ah! Yes!
And he's in the comic now.
Read it for the dog.
He's kind of sent to her to look after her.
That's amazing.
So, the Inhumans, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
So thumbs up.
What did you like?
I like the dog. I liked... It seemed less confusing.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, clearer.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of things are like a whole mess, but they seemed like clearer to me.
Mhm.
And I liked that there wasn't, you know, like with the Flash, there was a different guy,
Yeah.
and like, there's so many different versions of the Hulk or whatever. Like, this was just a bunch of people, and they were the same bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like when things change, but it made it easier to understand because there were.
What didn't you like?
What didn't I like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I quite liked it.
You quite liked it?
I don't like the whole, like, marriage thing.
Yeah.
That they feel the need to be like, well, you can do this, and then you can have X many wives, and whatever. But then I guess that's maybe illustrating the whole primitive, like, thing, or, like, the whole, like, power of it all. I don't like it, but...
It's a very, like, royalist thing to do.
Yeah. Like you said, Game of Thrones. It's like, I have a whole bunch of power, therefore I can decide what happens. Like, I don't like when people just, like, mess with other people.
Yeah. So, apparently the Inhumans are going to get a film. It's on the slate. Apparently they were just recently introduced in the mid-season finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
Does that make you want to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at all?
Not really.
No. I'm right there with you.
I've seen, like, one episode and I was like, okay. Like, as far as I know, it's alright. And if something happens that's of relevance to the Marvel Universe that I am aware of, I will become aware of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't have to watch it.
So that's our episode for the week.
I liked it.
You like the Inhumans?
I do.
So,
I like the Pet Avengers.
The Pet Avengers. Well, that's your birthday sorted.
Did not know that Pet Avengers were a thing. That's amazing.
So just a few things before we get out of here. We are on iTunes. Please leave us a rating, leave us a review, subscribe. Helps people find the show. It sends us up the charts. We're also on Stitcher. I got an email today saying Stitcher aren't updating episodes as quickly as they should be. I don't know what's going on with that, so you have to wait a few days for this to come up on Stitcher.
Maybe they're getting more popular. They're just working on it.
I don't know. There's also the small matter of Patreon to attend to.
Not to keep harping on about it, but it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, we have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/kingimpulse. There you can pledge $1, $2, $5 or $10. Each of those has their own rewards. $2 gets you show notes. $5 you can pick something for us to cover on the show, like last week's Planet Hulk episode and next week's Black Widow episode. And $10 gives you access to bonus content.
Which is still deciding.
Yeah, I've got an idea what it's going to be, but that's going to be in February.
We'll get there.
So no matter what you pledge, we will thank you live on air. Well,
not so much live.
Yeah, but we want to give a sincere thanks this week to Sheed Wilder, John London, Ian Craig, and David Burzon. We are currently at $36 a month, which is far more than we expected to get. I think it's helpful that we do have that smaller goals.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the Patreons that I've seen, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but they're in the hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, people
goals.
might have like bigger things to do.
Yeah, which is fair enough, but I just want to cover the server costs.
We just want to pay to put the podcast up.
Yeah, just pay for the podcast up and maybe improve the audio equipment.
Yeah, like small goals.
So, if you want longer episodes, if you want more episodes, if you want us to sound better with better audio equipment, if you want to choose something for us to cover,
yeah.
If you're like, oh, I can't wait for them to get around to talk about this, check out the Patreon.
Tell us to do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
So, as we head out, I have been Kieran Shiak. I am at King Impulse on Twitter.
I'm Helena Hart. I am at HG on Twitter.
This has not been a journey to misery.
No, I think we should rename the show.
And we'll see you next week.